In today's video, we're gonna be talking about the #1 upgrade for your pressure washer, and that is your pressure washer hose. Now I've got 3 options here, starting with the one that I have talked about for a long time, the Uberflex hose. This thing's awesome, fantastic, but we're gonna be comparing that to another one that I get asked about all the time, the MTM Kobrajet hose, which is right here. And then we also have a newcomer. This is a steel wire braided hose, really strong. This is the Adams SuperFlex hose, and it's actually a phenomenal value. So we're gonna jump into this, touch on each of these. We're gonna go over pricing, the construction of each of these hoses, the lengths available, and then we'll also kind of weigh them out just so we can have an idea of how much force we have to use when using them. Now I'm gonna have all 3 of these linked down in the description, so stay tuned, guys. We're gonna go over all of this and figure out which one may be the best choice for you. And make sure you guys wait to the end of the video because I'm going to be giving each of these hoses away to one of you. Well, 3 of you actually, one hose to each person. And I'll be letting you know how to enter for your chance to win at the end of the video. Okay, so since I talk about this hose all the time, we're gonna leave this one to last. We're gonna start off with the MTM Kobrajet. Now, as I said, this thing is probably the most used for professional detailers. You can actually get this in a number of different kind of spec'd out ways. So it comes in, I believe it comes in gray and black. And then they actually have a smooth surface one in blue, which is actually cheaper than this one slightly, but a very similar construction. Now, from what I saw, this comes in a 25 foot, a 50 foot, and a 100 foot. There may be a 75 as well, I just didn't notice it. On the Veloci website, they're the distributor in the US for this brand, and they come in this option here, like the one I have, no quick connects on it, just the regular stainless 3/8 plug, $101. Now, if you get the option with the quick connects, it's 110 bucks. So if you have that option, I would recommend doing that because buying the quick connect separately, it's gonna come to more than an extra 10 bucks. And then if you look at this on Amazon, the 50 footer with the quick connects comes in at about $140, guys. Now, outside of the length, this is a 3/8 diameter hose. They advertise a thicker inner wall to prevent any ruptures or bursts over time. They also talk about a special type of clamp that they use or application where they attach the ends to the hose so that you don't have any risk of bursts either. And then you do have this nice sleeve branded Veloci on there. Really nice, that just covers everything up. Now, regardless if you get the one that has the quick connects or not, the actual connection points, one side is fixed, the other side has a nice fluid swivel to it. So really a nice little feature, nice little bonus there. And when you look at the construction of the hose, you can see that the inner side of the hose looks to be rubberized, and then they have this nice little coating on the outside. And it's kind of a wrap, and you can see that on there. Now, an additional thing with this hose is that they advertise a salt spray test, where they actually, I guess, put this out in the elements in a salt spray, and they state that they have 125 hours before you start to notice any sort of corrosion, damage, whatever to the hose. So really cool. I didn't see any results like that for these other 2 hoses, so I don't think they went through that extra step of that test. But really nice that they included that for the Kobrajet. Next up, guys, let's go ahead and go to the Adams SuperFlex pressure washer hose. Now, this is a newer item, at least that I've seen on their website. And it's a very similar construction to the Kobrajet. It has the same type of wrapped, it's a steel braided hose like the Kobrajet, has the same sort of textured wrap on it. But this is only a 1/4 inch versus a 3/8 inch diameter. Now, the same kind of thing, guys. One side is just a regular side, and then the other end is a swivel, similar to the Kobrajet. Another differentiating factor with the Adams hose is it doesn't come in a 50-foot size. It comes in a 40, a 60, or a 100. So it's interesting that they did it that way. Keep in mind though, guys, with any of these hoses, when you go into 100 feet, they do get more cumbersome just because that's a lot of hose. Now back to the Adams pressure washer hose. Again, similar to the Kobrajet, because it's steel braided, it won't completely roll over on itself, okay? Because there's that steel braid construction inside. So it just kind of stops there. Still very flexible though, and so is the Kobrajet. Okay, still nice and flexible. This one though, however, does come with another benefit though, guys, and what makes this Adams pressure washer hose such a good value is that it comes with your stainless steel quick connects. Really awesome deal there. So this thing, like I said, 3 different sizes at 40 feet, including the swivel and the quick connects, $59.99. 60 footer is $69.99, and the 100 footer is $119.99. Now, last but not least is my one that I've talked about forever, guys, the Uberflex hose. I found this thing, I absolutely love it. Quite a bit different than these other hoses. It has a different type of construction. So if you look at the surface, it's a nice little textured surface, but this is not steel braided. It's very, very flexible, pretty lightweight. I mean, it feels significantly lighter weight than these two. And this one, you can get it to roll over on itself. However, there's no memory in the line, so the kink does not stay there. It won't kink in the normal sense. Like a lot of times you use, I mean, I wish I had one here, but a lot of times you have a factory hose from like a Ryobi or even like some of the AR machines. And those hoses, man, you go like this, it kinks hard, and then there's a divot in the hose. Over time, that creates a weak point. This does not do that, and that's why I love it. Now, the connections on this thing are different as well. I have quick connects on this, but they do not come with it. So keep that in mind. I'll put links down in the description for you guys so you can find the quick connects that'll work for this, and it's awesome. However, when you don't have them, it's just a standard M22 by 14 millimeter connection point. That's gonna fit all your Ryobi, Craftsman, Greenworks pressure washers. I believe the Greenworks. Now the Sunjoe won't work. It actually requires an M22 by 15 connection point, but there's an adapter that you can get for that. I'll link that in the description for you as well. So when you talk about the Uberflex hose, guys, this thing actually comes in quite a few different sizes and colors. There's a 35-foot option, I believe, that you can get at Walmart under the Black Max brand name, but it is this hose. That one is black. You can also get one in red. The blue one is my favorite, and the 50-foot option, that's my favorite choice. You can get them 100 feet and all that kind of good stuff as well. They do increase the diameter at the 100 footer. But for this one, 50 feet comes into just about 50 bucks. I think it's like $50.99 or something like that. So $1 a foot. Now both the Adams and the Kobrajet hose both advertise a 4,000 PSI burst rating, so they're good up to 4,000 PSI. I don't have any way of testing that, but they feel like high quality hoses. Now for me personally, guys, remember, I'm a car detailer, right? I typically operate my pressure washer no higher than 1,500 PSI, so I don't have any concern with that. It should be good to go. Also, one thing to note is people ask me all the time, 3/8 hose versus a 1/4 inch hose. Does that matter? I've done multiple tests testing that, exactly that, the 1/4 inch versus the 3/8. Haven't noticed any difference in performance of PSI or GPM, honestly. Also, I've tested a 25-foot hose against a 100-foot hose. Again, under a minute or two test, there's no measurable difference that I've been able to find. Over time, yeah, if you run it for, say, 30 minutes, the GPM may slightly be different. The draw on your actual pressure washer may be different if it's having to pump the water all the way through. If on a 100-foot hose, it might be a slightly more aggressive draw against the machine. But as far as performance goes, guys, I haven't noticed anything that's measurable. Now let's go ahead and move on to weighing these things out, because it does put more of a strain. The heavier the hose, it puts more of a strain on you while you're working detailing a car or working around the house. It is more weight. Even though most of it's laying on the ground, you do feel the extra weight. So let's go ahead and check that. All right, guys, so here is my scale. I'm going to put a flat surface on this so that we get an even distribution of the weight of the hose. So here you go here. I'm just gonna place this on. We're gonna tear out the scale to make sure it's just zeroed out so we're not adding any additional weight from this. So we're in pounds and ounces, it's zeroed out. Let's go ahead and put the Kobrajet onto the scale. Okay, so here is the Kobrajet hose coming in at 8 pounds, 9 ounces. 8 pounds, 9 ounces for the 50-foot option, 3/8 with no quick connects on it. Next up, we're gonna go ahead and switch over to the Adams pressure washer hose. Keep in mind, this is a 40-footer, so it is 10 feet less than these other two hoses. So that's definitely gonna factor in on the weight, but this one does have the stainless steel quick connects installed. All right, so here you go, Adams Polish's SuperFlex pressure washer hose. 6 pounds, 0.3 ounces, so essentially 6 pounds. And again, 40 feet, 1/4 inch diameter with quick connects. And last but not least, guys, the Uberflex hose. Again, I'm gonna measure this with because I installed these, they're in there pretty good. I'm gonna measure it with the quick connects on it. So let's go ahead and plop this on here. Again, 50 feet, 1/4 inch diameter. So here it is, guys, the beautiful blue Uberflex hose coming in at 4 pounds, 1.3 ounces. So essentially 4 pounds. So 2 pounds less than the Adams, and gosh, 5 pounds less than the Kobrajet. Okay, so now let's go ahead and move on to the most scientific test that I've ever done. We're gonna take these things outside, lay them out flat, and then roll them up. see which one's the most cumbersome to work with. Again, not scientific at all, but I think it is a valid test to show which one's easiest to work with. All right, guys, along with winding them up, let's see how easy it is to extend them out, because that's a concern, right? When you're getting ready to use your pressure washer, you want to know, like, oh, is this thing going to be a nightmare to get everything set up? Well, here we go. Let's find out. So the Adams, as you can see, is kind of, you do have to give it some twist to get it all lined up and out, but not bad. And the big thing, guys, is when you consider this compared to, like I said, the factory hoses that come with your basic pressure washers, this thing would not be laying flat. It'd be all tangled up, an absolute nightmare. These are all going to be a significant upgrade. Moving from there, we've got the MTM Kobrajet, and same thing, guys. It's got some twists to it, which is fine. This thing has been stored that way, but look, very, very easy to get them out. Just flip it over, comes right out, and then the hose lays completely flat. So distance-wise, there's end to end. And yeah, we've got about 10 feet difference, which makes sense. 40-foot hose versus 50-foot hose. Last but not least, let's go with the Uberflex. The thing I like about this one, guys, is because it's so lightweight. I don't know if this is gonna be tangled up or not, but you can literally like just toss it, right? Wow, that was a terrible, terrible example. And it just got all kind of knotted up. But as you can see, the texture on this thing and the fact that it's so flexible and lightweight, it's very easy to get it all going again. All right, so there's that. Let me go to the other end, walk it out, and just spin it out. Now, again, keep in mind that when you have this attached to your pressure washer, the end's gonna wanna stay in place a little bit better. So it's actually gonna be easier to lay these out than the way I'm doing it now. All right, so yeah, the Kobrajet and the Uberflex, both 50 feet. And as I said, the Adams 40 feet. But as you can tell, guys, that's still a ton of room to get around your car. So let's go ahead and start now. Pick up the Uberflex and wind it up. Super easy, super lightweight, no issues at all. Very, very easy to do. You can see the hose is coming along very, very nicely. Okay, and I just simply pick it up, twist with my wrist to get it to start to curve, right? And just keep doing that every time. So as you can see, setup and packing it up after you're done using it, super, super easy. Now, I suggest putting things on a hose reel, but if you don't want to do that, this is still very, very easy to use. Moving on to the Kobrajet. So guys, weight-wise, significantly more effort to do this, significantly. Also, it is coming together nicely, but because it is a thicker diameter hose, it feels a little bit stiffer while I'm doing this. Again, I think if you're the person that's buying this hose though, regardless, it's gonna be on a pressure washer reel. And then you're not gonna be doing, you're just gonna be winding it up. It's not such a big deal. But also now that it's all in my hand, one hand here, it's quite a bit of weight. As you can saw, it was 9 pounds, essentially 9 pounds holding in that one hand. So good to go there. I will say that that came up very, very nicely. It wasn't as easy as the Uberflex, but still very, very easy. And again, more professional grade here. The majority of professional detailers are using that hose. And this one seems to be the perfect mix of the two. Still has that professional style construction like that one does. I don't think it's the same, but very, very similar. But we are reduced considerably to the 1/4 inch diameter like the Uberflex. So let's go ahead and reel this one up. Yeah, not quite as easy as the Uberflex. It's got like a little bit of kickback here, but very, very easy, guys. Extremely, extremely easy. So there you go. These all 3 of these are going to have a non-marring coating on them, so they're not going to leave marks on your driveway. Let's go back inside and talk about them. Okay, guys, so there you have it. My final thoughts are all 3 of these are phenomenal, phenomenal options. If you're the DIYer at home that just wants a fantastic hose that is night and day better than the hose that comes with your pressure washer, I can't highly recommend the Uberflex enough. I absolutely love this thing. Super, super easy to work with. Really, really nice hose. If you're the professional that you want a hose that's gonna be on a hose reel anyway, and you just want something that has a high burst rate and a lot of testing behind it, like that salt spray test, go with the Kobrajet, the MTM, because it's tested, tried and true. Again, I have it on my hose reel at my shop. It is cracking, but the hose is still performing perfectly. If you're someone in between that or just the DIYer, you want a really, really good value, the Adams is gonna be hard to beat there, guys. For 60 bucks, for $10 more, yes, you lose 10 feet, but you do get a steel braided construction and stainless steel quick connects and one side with a swivel. The Uberflex doesn't come with any quick connects. You only have the standard standard connection point. So if you want a quick connect setup, you really have to weigh these options out. If you're just wanting to use your standard equipment that came with your pressure washer and you just want to screw it in and all that kind of stuff, the Uberflex is perfect because it already has those connections. But like I said, guys, the value that comes in with this Adams at 40 feet, this style construction hose and the quick connects is really, really phenomenal. I highly, highly recommend this thing as well. I use this to do a couple of tests. So if you do win this one, there will be some water in it, mostly, but if there's a drip or two in there, that's why. And this thing's been phenomenal. I love it. I actually personally have also a 100-footer. I'm gonna keep that one, this 40-footer, I'm gonna give away to one of you guys. So let's go ahead and get these things given away, guys. I'm gonna announce how to do that. But first we're gonna jump into the last video I did was on the new Adams compact pressure washer. I announced I'm giving that one away as well. I said to comment on the YouTube video as well as on my Instagram for your chance to win. And the winner I have on my phone here is Raf the Phone. It was actually an Instagram comment. I did take a full list of both though. It just so happened that this one is from Instagram. And they commented, my daughter has a summer car wash business called Baby's Car Wash. Shout out Baby's Car Wash. This would be perfect for her because she uses all Adams products. So awesome, guys. I'm super, super happy it's going to you. Hopefully you can get out there and make some more money. I'll write you on Instagram, but also you can send me an email to joshv@dtlrsupply.com. Give me your shipping information. We'll get that out to you. Now, back to the hoses. Let's give these babies away. Very, very similar giveaway here. Make sure to like this video, comment down below, and then also comment on my Instagram page. Again, if you don't have an Instagram, no problem. You still have a chance to win just from the YouTube post. But if you comment on Instagram as well, it will increase your chances because you have multiple comments in there now. Also, in order to get a third chance to win, right? It increases your chances even more. Go to the Instagram post and share it with 3 people. Tag 3 people, share that around, give them an opportunity to win as well. That's it, guys. I hope that video helps you, and stay tuned to the next video. We'll be announcing the winners of these, and we'll go from there. So thanks so much for watching. Please make sure to like the video, make sure you're subscribed, turn on the notification bell, and we will see you on the next one.